and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes here at NIU Northern Television Center. I'm here with my guy Scott Nickel. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. How about yourself, Alex?
Doing well. Mateo Avila, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
And Tom Burton, how you doing?
Good, Alex. How are you?
Doing well. But we're gonna start off the show a little tribute. If you don't know what happened today, we have some sad news with the NIU Husky football family. Former linebacker safety Alex Cube of NIU, he passed away at the age of 29 today. He played for Jerry Kill and led the team in tackles his freshman year as a safety in 2007 with 111 tackles. He also was named third team all defense in the MAC. He was an outstanding player, outstanding person. We wish the Cube family our prayers, our thoughts, and it's just a very heartbreaking tragedy. So again, prayers and thoughts to the family, and today we are all one Husky, like we sing. So with that, let's get right to it. More sad news, unfortunately. Jabari Parker of the Milwaukee Bucks. Today, the Milwaukee Bucks announced that he severed a torn ACL injury. That's his second of his young career, out of Simeon from Chicago.
Same knee.
Same knee as well, the left knee. So, guys, are the Bucks in trouble? And more importantly, how bad is Jabari Parker's career? How much in trouble is his career right
now? I don't think the Bucks are in trouble. They have the Greek Freak Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton coming back. They may be in trouble this year, but they still have quite a few pieces, especially with the emergence of Greek Freak. He's honestly one of my favorite players to watch. I do think Jabari's career is taking the same route Derrick Rose's did. Unfortunately, which is very coincidental. Both went to Simeon. I think, does Jabari have a Adidas shoe contract too?
I thought he did.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he does. I've seen these reports about these Adidas shoes. If you look at the history, look at all the players who were wearing Adidas versus Nike's Under Armour shoes and blew their ACL out. It's I don't have the numbers with me, but and this is maybe a year or two ago. It came out with the D Rose, and that's why he switched from Adidas. Actually, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, I don't see tearing your ACL twice, the same one.
Real quick. I just looked up Jabari's with Brent Jordan, not.
He's with Jordan.
Okay.
Thank you. Still, I don't see him recovering.
Right.
I think the Bucks are very much in trouble. Jabari was one of those pieces that you can build around with Giannis. In my opinion, he's been the second best player for the last couple seasons when he came back from the initial ACL injury. So I think the Bucks are going to be backtracking a little bit with the loss of Jabari for the remainder of this season, and at the point of this season, maybe early part of next season. In terms of Jabari's career, I agree much with Scott. An ACL injury is hard to come back from once, and for him to have to come back from it twice on the same leg, I don't know if that's going to happen. Unlike Derrick Rose, he didn't have the timidness, or he never seemed scared to attack the rim, use his explosiveness. In my opinion, he was more explosive after the ACL injury, still dunking on people, still using his explosiveness to get rebounds, stuff like that. But I feel like that's going to be hard to come back from a second time. I feel like it would be hard to not have that in the back of your mind now that you've done it again. And much like Derrick Rose, when he came back from the ACL injury, maybe initially he wasn't very timid, and then the meniscus tears twice, and now you look at Derrick Rose and he's not as explosive as he once was. I feel like Jabari is going to fall much down that same path. And it's unfortunate because he's a very young and talented player.
Humble, too.
Yeah,
very humbled.
Look, I think the Milwaukee Bucks are in deep trouble right now. I mean, I mean, they're sitting about 11th, 12th place in the Eastern Conference. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games, and that was before Jabari Parker went down with his injury. I mean, they were playing pretty good basketball. A month ago in the season, they were sitting in the playoff picture, but lately they've been trending downward, and this is only going to make things worse. I think this will make things worse for the Bucks. It'll make things worse for Giannis because he might feel the need to.
It puts a lot more of the onus on Giannis,
take more of the scoring load, which will bring his efficiency down. He'll have to play more minutes, and it's a bad thing for the Bucks. It's a bad thing for the NBA, and the Bucks are in deep water now.
Yeah, and like you said, or like I alluded to, they're done this year. They were trending downwards. They need a point guard, a true point guard. They've been shuffling them in and out the last few years. I don't even honestly know who they have now. Do they still have Brandon Knight as their point?
No,
Brandon Knight's been in Phoenix.
It's Matthew Dellavedova.
Thank you.
They have Dellavedova and that rookie Malcolm Brogdon.
He is a great six man or off the bench point guard.
Point guard.
But he is not.
Tripper.
He is not.
I'm watching, like, as we speak, we're watching, like, the North Carolina Duke game, and I just looked at Grayson Allen, like, oh, there's so much in common. But anyways.
I just, he's a great backup. And, I mean, I know he won, I don't know. They're done this year. Chris Middleton was hurt all year.
But he's coming back.
He just
he just came back yesterday. But who replaces Jabari? Like,
right.
when Chris Middleton went out, their replacement was Tony Snell. Like, and as Bulls fans, we know Tony Snell.
Right.
He's not much of a replacement. And now you get back Middleton, you think things are gonna get better, and now Tony Snell's still gonna be forced to play because now you need him to replace for Jabari.
Yeah,
So,
I think what you do here is you move Giannis to the 3. Unfortunately, you got to start Monroe at the 4, and then you got
Henson at the 5.
Henson at the 5. I think that's it.
That's a reasonable lineup right there. I mean, it's the lineup you have to go with for the rest of the season.
Even though
What about Michael Beasley? They still have Michael Beasley.
Do they?
Is he been
Oh, yeah. They
Michael
could
Beasley's been on the
They
team.
could start Beasley at the
Yeah,
4,
yeah.
and then move, still have Monroe at the center.
But here's the thing. I don't know if, like, Milwaukee's been executing this all season. I don't watch Milwaukee with my free time. But, like, Jason Kidd said in the beginning of the season that, he wants Giannis running the point. So, Scott, are you saying that you don't like Giannis in that role?
That's not what I'm saying at all. He doesn't run the point very often.
You don't think he does a good job, or like he does?
No, he does a phenomenal job.
He does a great job running the point.
He's not a true point guard. He can't shoot the ball.
It creates matchup issues.
In my mind, I want my point guard to be able to pull up from anywhere on the court and drain a shot. He does not have that ability. Yeah, and
if he did, he'd be Kevin Durant.
Right. I mean, the dude is there's a reason why he's called the Greek Freak. I think his best position is the 3 or the 4. I don't think he should play the 1. I'm not saying he can't play the 1. I just don't think that's where he is most efficient at.
I think he's been maybe used there, but I don't know if he's ever actually has he ever actually been listed in the starting lineup as the point guard? I don't think he has.
There's no way.
He definitely doesn't get
LeBron
listed.
James.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure he finished last season as the point. Like the last 20 games
was listed as the point
I don't believe he was listed. I know he was running the point, but I don't believe he was listed as the point guard.
I mean,
your best players essentially are supposed to run the point when crunch time matters, right? I mean, LeBron James does it for Cleveland. I assume Kevin Durant or Steph runs the point in Golden State, and you probably have Kawhi running. Well, okay, Tony Parker. Trying to find another example.
Yeah, the Spurs are a bad example.
So James Harden's your 2, and he's running the point.
So you don't see Jerry and Grant bringing the ball up the floor in the 4th with the ball.
Yeah, right. No, it's Paul Zipser.
Yeah, the best player definitely has the ball in big moments, but I don't know. I didn't understand why they traded Michael Carter Williams, to be honest.
That's true too. So you don't even have like a true.
At least he was He was serviceable. I feel like he was more serviceable than Tony Snell is.
He's a better player than Tony Snell all around.
I just didn't understand that move, but
I don't know. Are you going more for defensively or are you going for offensively?
But it's not like Michael Carter.
MCW is better in both.
Yeah,
points.
Exactly. I didn't understand.
But going back to Jabari, this is a question I did want to ask you guys. Is this a Simeon curse? Is this starting? Is this a trend?
I hope not.
Can we fear for Jaleel? Did Jaleel go to Simeon?
Jaleel went to Whitney Young.
He went to Whitney Young.
But it's still Chicago, right?
It's still Chicago.
Yeah. Is this okay? So is this Chicago curse?
Jaleel and didn't Dakari Johnson go to Whitney Young too?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
I know. I mean, yeah.
So is there? So could there be at least at Simeon
something in the water?
Yeah, something in the water, or their trainers are
pushing him.
or something, because this is the second superstar
But-
coming out of there.
Didn't Kendrick Nunn also tear his ACL or mess up his knee his freshman year at U of I?
I think so.
He
Yeah.
might have, yeah.
Yeah.
He might have.
Yeah. I think I
So-
remember that. So,
But at the same time, you also look at it. It's like Simeon's not in the best area. It's right by a basketball, like a street court. You know, so I'm sure these guys spend a lot of time on the concrete, and that's not good for your knees either.
yeah, but then
So does everybody, though.
Yeah, but so yeah.
But-
Jay played
I
on
wouldn't
that
say
concrete.
everybody.
I wouldn't say everybody does it.
So you don't think at one point, you're a kid playing, on a concrete basketball court, like
No, but I mean, like Derrick Rose said, he lived at the court by his house.
You don't have access. Like Jaleel Whitney Young's not in a terrible neighborhood. You know, and I'm sure there's plenty more open gyms, indoor open gyms.
yeah, so that's a pretty nice school, I thought, right?
Yeah, even
private
I'm
school,
sure
yeah.
they probably even open the gym for those guys. Simeon wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So those guys, their only access to basketball outside of Simeon practicing games would be on the concrete.
Which is so weird because Simeon's put up so many prospects like D Rose and Jabari that you would figure maybe we should
Right.
upgrade the athletic facilities that we have here if we're getting all these
Right.
getting all these superstars that go to Duke and go to Memphis and go to these big time schools. I don't know. It is a sad story. It's a tragedy for Jabari. We all wish him well. I want him back on the court in some
Definitely.
shape and fashion, and if not, maybe in the Bucks organization. I still want him around the NBA. It's just sad to see this. Hard to come back from an ACL tear. But now let's go to some more NBA news. Let's go to the East Coast and talk about what happened at Madison Square Garden last night. Some weird event. Charles Oakley went up to James Dolan, the president, and it looked like got an altercation. And at this altercation, looked there was pushing and shoving by Mr. Oakley, who was a former Knicks player back in the day, and was then escorted out by security. He was then charged of 3 counts of assault on President Dolan. So, what happened? What happened, and why did it happen? And do you agree with how it happened? It was just a weird story that happened last night.
Well, earlier this morning it was reported on ESPN First Take by the infamous Stephen A. Smith that he talked to Oakley saying that, and Oakley told him that like he didn't say anything to Dolan, and Dolan just didn't like his presence being there, and he got him out of there. On the flip side, it was also reported that he was maybe making verbal altercations towards Dolan, and that's what warranted him being escorted out of the building. So it's tough on who to believe. Stephen A. Smith believed Oakley and said that he probably didn't do anything. It was just James Dolan, and that everybody hates him, and he probably just had to give some kind of reason for getting him kicked out, or else he would have more hate towards him. So.
I mean, it's kind of funny how the Knicks fans reacted because they were yelling, Oakley, because he was a beloved player.
Yeah, he
for
was a
the
fan
Knicks.
favorite.
That's the most fire this Knicks team has seen all season.
Yeah. I mean, good for them. I mean, I feel bad. They have a unicorn and they can't do anything. They have a mystical creature in your hands and you can't even produce a good team. But I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know what was been said. There hasn't been much. I mean, again, Stephen A. on ESPN said that there was an altercation. Oakley just got kicked out, or he did this. But on camera, it looked like Charles Oakley was poking at James Dolan. Like he was going after his face and everything. So
one thing I saw earlier today too was that in Charles Oakley's interview with Stephen A. Smith, he said anytime he attends the Knicks game, Dolan has security guards follow Charles Oakley for no reason, including when he goes to the bathroom. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know what Charles Oakley's done that warrants security guards wherever you go in Madison Square Garden, but I don't think it makes any sense. The man played for you for a good 10 seasons.
He fought for you.
He
30 different times.
and the thing is he played in the glory days of the Knicks back with Patrick Ewing when the Knicks were like relevant and good. So
back when you could fight.
right.
You know,
So I don't understand. Like Charles Oakley better have done something extremely serious to have security guards.
I mean, exactly. He's one of the, like you said, he's one of the most highly recognized Knicks players ever, up there with Patrick Ewing. I mean, obviously not talent-wise, but recognizable. And,
right.
What he brought that grit that you needed in the.
He was a bruiser.
Exactly, in that time. And I've been reading a ton of stuff, a lot of parody stuff, some stuff on Barstool. and they think it's all a conspiracy thing by Dolan just to get him kicked out of Madison Square Garden in general. Because from the video, I've seen like 3 or 4 different videos, and like it looked like it just came out of nowhere, and he's just trying to talk to these people, and these Oakley is just trying to talk to like security and stuff, and they just keep grabbing him.
Right.
And the dude's what, like 40? He's got to be in his 50s now.
Right.
He took what, 8 security guards to get him out of there.
And it's like, what do you expect him to do when you just have people pushing him out? You expect him not to push back? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't know the relationship between him and the owner before this, or like I guess the fine details or really much about it. But
And I mean, I would assume since his relationship with the owner isn't all that great, that he probably paid for his ticket. He probably wasn't just like, oh yeah, you played for us, come on,
He did.
watch.
Yeah.
So, and that he's a paying customer. So I don't understand.
I mean, I thought earlier when I watched that first episode, I thought Max Kellerman said it best. He said, that
you thought Max Kellerman said something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hold on.
Hey,
Random alerts.
I personally like Max Kellerman, but go ahead.
No, he's a joke, but we'll revisit that.
Oh,
like-
Sorry to interrupt you there, but
Yeah, but no, it's
can't let that point slide.
It had to be said. But
Bring back Skip.
no, I just I like what he said, and he kind of hit it on the head when he was talking about how Oakley was kind of fighting for what he believed in when he was like pushing those guys. Like he believed he shouldn't have been escorted out, and he said, anytime anyone fights for what they believe in and actually shows some aggressiveness in Madison Square Garden, they get escorted out. It describes the Knicks perfectly.
When did it happen before?
No, he was just saying like, anytime anybody shows passion or a will to do something, like it was taking a shot at the Knicks players.
Oh, okay.
Like it describes the Knicks perfectly. I think like you get escorted out if you show any passion or aggression for anything.
Oh, so
So-
that's why they don't show passion.
Okay, makes
the court.
sense.
I don't know, it was just a nice shot at the Knicks and how they're doing this
it
season.
was
and
definitely a shot, but hey, I like it.
And
It
I
was
mean,
good for Max Kellerman. Which
Yeah.
is,
yeah, and a lot of players in the NBA are talking about this. Former players. I can't wait for tonight's episode in TNT.
They're not
Yeah.
happy.
I know.
They're
Yeah.
not happy.
That should be an interesting conversation for Shaq and Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guys that played with and against him.
Yeah, so and
Shaq
Dwayne
and
Wade
a
was
fool.
defending Charles. A lot of people are, who hasn't questioned the Knicks' state right now? But people are severely questioning the Knicks' state more than ever.
Oh, then LeBron, Dwayne, and
Yeah,
Chris
Dwayne Wade
Paul all
had
went
it.
on Instagram, and
Yeah, I'm trying to
For
find
quote unquote,
Dwayne Wade's.
then they call him Uncle Oak or something along
Yeah,
those
something
lines.
like that.
Yeah.
But
Is
what
that
could
is
he
that
have
where
done?
this whole social media ban in the NBA just came from all of a sudden? You can't criticize anything?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
what
know,
the
man.
heck, man? Like,
Right.
we're third graders?
What could
Right.
he
What is
have done
this?
though? Like, what could Oakley have done? I mean, that's one thing that people don't seem to be wanting to find out. What warrants him being quote unquote followed by,
Yeah,
Security.
Let the
personnel
man
to the
pee.
bathroom?
Right,
You know?
and that makes no
Like-
sense. Like, would you do the same to Patrick Ewing? Because Patrick Ewing essentially was the same type of player, just with a higher skill set.
Yeah.
So like I don't understand.
With Carmelo? Is Carmelo being fouled every time he goes?
I wouldn't
goes
be
to the bathroom?
surprised.
Oh, Matt
Or
Barnes
Kristaps?
should
How
be
can you even
fouled.
foul Chris? I mean, it's not hard to foul Kristaps.
Is that why Derek Fisher's not the coach?
Yeah.
Half of
There's
the
more
roster of the
that.
Sacramento Kings should be fouled.
Right.
Yeah,
DeMarcus Cousins.
But here's Dwayne Wade's quote on Instagram. 10 years, Oak gave everything he had for this organization, and the image everyone will be left with won't be this picture. It was a picture of Charles Oakley wearing his number 34. It will be the image of him being taken down to the ground last night in the same arena he gave us all to as a player by the guards. This could happen to any of us. Hashtag stay woke. We are not above this treatment. So essentially, this is a call out for not just the security of the Knicks, but the security of all the organizations in the NBA.
I think he's calling out. I think he's pulling the race card there.
Yeah.
He is, absolutely.
No, and so I don't disagree. I mean, everything I've read, and I get Oakley's going to be the more talkative one at this point versus the Knicks organization.
As he should be,
James
though.
Dolan, right? And, I mean, yeah, obviously, but he's got to defend himself now. Whereas, because he's the one who did get kicked out, so he's going to be the one to make his first claim, like, yo, I didn't do anything type thing. But I mean, I've even reading right now that he's in the past tried to patch things up with James Dolan, and Dolan just
And Dolan
refuses
refused. I read
to
that.
shake his hand,
I
to
read
meet
that
with
too.
him.
Yeah.
And I honestly, before this, I don't even know who this James Dolan dude is.
I remember him when he took over the Knicks.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
Like 2000.
Yeah.
Some 5, 6, something
Six,
along those
something like
lines.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember when he took over the Knicks, but yeah, I don't know so much about him. And obviously that team isn't doing so well. They have a new coach every other season.
They have whatever. They have Phil
This-
Jackson do whatever he
I
wants.
was gonna say,
That
do you
is
think
the
the
source
Master
of
is
the
gonna
problem.
comment on this?
That's the
No.
source
No,
of
it's
the
not about
problem.
Carmelo, so he won't comment about it.
It's not about Carmelo. That's true.
But here's what Oakley said to the New York Daily News. I was there for 4 minutes. I didn't say anything to him. I swear on my mother, they came over and wanted to know why I was sitting there. I bought the ticket. I said, why do you guys keep staring at me? Then they asked me to leave. And I said, I'm not leaving.
What did he do, though?
Right.
What did he do?
I mean,
Right.
I guess he's staring at somebody.
Well,
Well,
and
there's
that-
somebody wrong.
And that's the
Give him
other
look.
That's the other thing I thought too, is that we're gonna jam mid.
We're gonna jam you into some music.
We're gonna jam mid segment, but that's the other. Like I looked at the timestamp of the game. It was on ESPN, and it was like what 5 minutes into the game. It was
Yeah.
like 13-12 at that point. So
It
it's
was
not
really early in the game,
When
yeah.
I heard this originally, I was like, okay, the Knicks are actually in a competitive game for once, and someone got a little heated. And no, it's the first quarter, so obviously he had just gotten there. Maybe he arrived. This whole thing is just, I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
It's nonsense that people like they would even they would treat anybody like that, let alone one of your former greats. It's just like this. Is this what Melo has to look forward to in retirement?
Right.
Right. Like, I mean, I would say a good question. I'd be curious to find out what you guys think about this. Like, assuming that there's nothing that we don't know about Oakley, like, there's nothing that he did to warrant his treatment. Like, if it's primarily just how, his reputation when he was a player, like, does it carry over to these guys? Like, is this something that players who, play hard and are kind of aggressive, like maybe, DeMarcus Cousins or Matt Barnes, whoever, like, does it carry over, do you think? Like, does it carry over to post-basketball lives? Like, should the guys like that know that they probably won't be able to show themselves a lot in a public setting just because of their previous history on the basketball court?
No, I mean
It shouldn't.
No, exactly. I think that you are entitled to your own opinion, and if just because you don't always agree with someone doesn't necessarily mean that you're not welcome. And so, like, same with personality. So someone, obviously Oakley has a little bit of a temper problem, just not even displayed from last night, but in his years in the NBA.
Right.
But he, that's how it was. I don't think that players should change who they are because the NBA doesn't like it. That's not going to happen. That's going to result in a watered down product. Like, I wouldn't want to watch Boogie Cousins if he wasn't throwing his headband every time.
Right.
or-
He wasn't as
like,
demonstrative.
I mean, I would because he puts up 40 and 20, but I
Keep
mean,
kicking, Draymond. Keep kicking.
But
Use that leg.
That's what makes those players who they are, though. Like you just said, DeMarcus Cousins being the demonstrative player he is, it shows how passionate he is about the game, and it shows.
I don't know if that's passion.
no,
No.
I
But
think it is passion.
It definitely is, especially when he's been as good as he's been, probably the best big man in the league to have never been in a winning season in the NBA after coming from a program that was all about winning in Kentucky. It shows how much he wants to win.
He
And
plays pretty hard for that.
even
let's
like
just-
a guy like Draymond Green on the Warriors when they lost last week to Sacramento, and him and Kevin Durant got into a heated discussion because he doesn't like losing. Like that shows the kind of player they are.
So who's the dirtiest player in the NBA right now? Dirtiest. Like,
Dirty?
Who plays the
Dirtiest.
dirtiest?
Matt Barnes. Oh,
Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes.
I don't know, man.
I
Well,
mean, he's dirty. I'm not going to disagree. I think Matthew Dellavedova is. But
Dellavedova's
also
dirty. There's a lot of
another-
dirty players, but
Dova. What's
Okay,
that?
Dellavedova's a dirty player and just doesn't react the way other
Right.
guys react. But
Right.
it doesn't make him not a dirty player.
You're like a Tony Allen.
You wanna talk about the-
Tony Allen's not dirty. He's just a
Yeah,
good
he's
defensive
just
player.
a-
Tony
aggressive.
Allen is first team all defense. Thank
Right.
you very
No,
much.
he's
Come on
aggressive.
now.
There's a
Respect the
difference.
first.
That's just-
no, Matt Barnes, he's not good. So I think he has like Boogie Cousins at least has the talent to back up his temper tantrums. Like
Tell that to
Matt,
Derek Fisher's wife,
Matt.
Alex!
I told you.
Yeah, I
Laying
think
down the line.
I just think Matt Barnes is an idiot most of the time. I'm probably gonna get punch in the mouth from him now, but
No, I'm going here. I just said
They get chased into the locker
They
room.
got nobody
yours
knows
was,
who I am.
yours was a jab at Derek Fisher, not.
No, that's a jab at everybody at that situation. But let's just.
So
Do you
does
think
Matt.
real quick? Do you think Matt Barnes has anything to do with Derek Fisher house getting stolen, getting robbed,
No.
and his 5 rings
Oh, I'm
getting?
sure.
No.
I'm sure Matt Barnes has something to do with that
No,
somehow, some way.
No way, come on.
And
I
especially
hope
the
he
day
does.
after Derek Fisher finally decided to talk about that, and then Matt Barnes responded, and then it's conveniently the next day Derek Fisher's 5 championship rings.
So really
get
quick,
taken from his house.
is that something that Matt Barnes has to worry about post NBA? Just kind of like, is he gonna get this kind of treatment just because of his reputation while he was in the league? Do you think? Or is it just-
Matt Barnes, yeah.
Yeah, he should.
won't be allowed
He
in
should.
arenas.
Just the stuff he has, but Matt Barnes isn't that kind of player. You look at Charles Oakley. Charles Oakley's someone you could talk about because he was
Revered.
he was meaningful, more meaningful on a
I
basketball.
was gonna
court.
say like
Barnes is
Matt
just-
Barnes. When's the last time when
When he
the
won a
Lakers?
championship with the Lakers.
When the Lakers won in
Okay,
what,
but
05,
it's-
03? Like that's 14 years ago.
Maybe,
dude,
maybe like the last time when they beat the Magic. Woo!
So he
Let's
was-
go.
I
He
feel
was
like
good in
it-
Orlando for.
You gotta look at it with players that were more known for what they did on the court,
Yeah.
and not what they did off. And Matt Barnes is much more known for what he did off the court,
Yeah.
or maybe trying to shove the ball in Kobe's face and him not flinching, than for what he does on the court.
that was the
He doesn't have.
greatest video clip I've ever seen in my life.
he, like Matt Barnes has it. Like, can you name a highlight right now? Like, oh, Matt Barnes, and this is the highlight that comes to your mind.
Yeah, I remember him chasing Trevor Ariza into the locker room.
Okay, see, but that's for nothing
remember
on.
that too.
I don't mean that. See, that's something that's off the basketball court, though. I
In
mean,
my
like
mind-
a highlight. Like if I say Robert Horry, you can think of Robert Horry's big shots.
Yeah,
If I say
yeah.
Michael Jordan, you think of obviously a ton of when you think of Matt Barnes, you think of him chasing players out the locker room, or Kobe Bryant not flinching when he pump fakes the ball in his face.
Artist
Like-
decided Matt Barnes is trash.
Another player I could compare Matt Barnes with, and he did a little more on the court than Matt Barnes, but Ron Artest.
There you go. Perfect.
Or Meta
Still
World
in the
Peace.
league, by the way.
Meta
Meta
World
World
Peace, the
Peace.
Panda Friend, whatever you call him. We got like 5 different names. As Alex decides to crumple a paper loaf in the middle
Yeah,
of
I
the
mean,
podcast.
I was just.
Clicking pens, chewing gum,
Hey,
crumpling
man.
up
Accidentally
paper.
starting stuff.
It was
Yeah.
far away from the mic. Also,
Randomly
I was just
playing
showing you the
music.
garbage.
Randomly
Trash.
playing
And he
music.
missed.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Let the
We're not
record
perfect
show
here.
Alex just missed a 2-foot layup.
You know,
Into a garbage can.
Into a garbage can.
That's why
I'm
he's
better
producing.
on the court than off the court. All right, so.
You better
He-
off the court than on
Alex
the
is the Matt Barnes of this show.
Oh, come on now. No. Man, I'm the Kobe Bryant. You just don't know it. All right, so.
You're Paul Zipser.
Oh,
The Paul Zipser.
The zippity doo dah. All right. We're gonna come back, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about Martellus Bennett and the New England Patriots players who are not going into the White House for a visit with President Trump, and we'll discuss that when we are back. And we are back here at Hot Takes here at North Television Center. I don't know what I was trying to do with some cool announcer voice. I'm Alex Rodriguez, and I'm back with the crew. So White
We're
House
part of the crew.
Part of the crew. Crew. Are we a pack? Are we a wolf pack?
We're not a wolf.
We're not a wolf
No, we're a
pack.
crew. Get it right.
Only if you're Zach Galifianakis. We could be a. We could be a.
Is that a No, dude. I want to grow a beard by like Zach Galifianakis. Can I do it?
Go buy a
If you
giraffe.
can
and-
grow a beard, I will call you Zach Galifianakis.
Okay.
I'll call you.
I mean,
Alex, I'll call you
I
Alex
mean,
Rodriguez.
I'll call you Derek Jeter.
Ooh. I'll take that. I'll take the Derek Jeter.
Just because of Alex Rodriguez, you know.
I mean,
I see it.
we play
I like
that.
it.
Just don't talk about the steroids.
Teixeira.
I mean, you take steroids, you shrink like 2 feet. All right. So, anyways, we're back, and we're gonna talk about the White House. So, a lot of the New England's Patriots players, Devin McCourty, Martellus Bennett, and now today, LeGarrette Blount have discussed not going to the White House to visit President Trump when they do their White House visit. So, is that okay for them to skip on the White House visit, or should they just do it?
I feel like it's fine to skip on the White House visit if that's you don't want to. If you don't agree with what Trump's doing, why would you want to go see him? I feel like that's a big part of why the Cubs pushed their White House visit to go see Obama and not see Donald Trump, because many of their players don't agree with what Donald Trump's views are. So
They got lucky though because they were able to hide it with, "Oh, he's from Chicago. We want
Right.
to do it because he's from Chicago."
right, but we all know that's not the real
Right,
reason, you know. So it's
exactly.
like I feel like if you guys don't want to go see him, don't go see him. It's not you're not obligated to do so. It's not. a
Signing
mandatory
contract.
thing.
Well, hey,
So
Trump's from the area, though, isn't he? He's from relatively close, like
And he's a big New England
Queens?
Patriots fan. They're breaking his
Queens,
heart.
I think.
I
he's
don't know
from.
where he's originally from. I know he's got a place in Queens currently, or in Manhattan or whatever.
regardless, I think the next 4 years, Donald Trump should be ready to not see very many athletes. I don't think very many athletes are gonna want to go see him anyway. So it's to be expected. Get
Yeah.
used to it.
It just seems like if you're given the opportunity to go to the White House, you should take advantage of it. It seems like an honor. Like I would, just to kind of, what's the word, like show my appreciation for getting such an invitation. Even if you don't appreciate who is running it, you're still, not everybody gets to do it, and it's just seems like a good opportunity. I don't know. I mean, those guys are fortunate to be able to do that. So
I am kind of caught in the middle here, to be perfectly honest. I respect people making their own decisions and sticking up for what they believe in. And if these players truly believe that that Donald Trump doesn't deserve their time, then that's what they believe. But I also get what Tom was alluding to, and this is a possibly once in a lifetime, if that, for an athlete event, and to skip out on something like that, it's tough. But it's a like most things, it's a double. There's definitely two sides. It's just I would never dislike somebody for sticking up for what they believed in, and that. So if they truly don't believe that going to the White House is gonna, I like it. It sends the right message, I think, and that they're sticking up for what they believe. And I've convinced myself in talking that I like their decision. Yeah.
And here's the Martellus Bennett. He's been the big advocate for this, and he even said like right away once they won the Super Bowl, I'm not going. He believes in something different. Garrett Blunt said he doesn't. I forget his quote. His quote was along the lines, "I don't feel comfortable going." Like his safety, it sounds like is a question. Like he does not feel comfortable going to the White House. So this is just a stance on your views. And if you have your political views or views on what you believe in, heck, I don't care. It's your life. It does not say in your contract that you win a Super Bowl, you have to go visit whoever this president is, X, Y, or Z. It does not say that. You're getting paid to play the game. This is stuff in the off season. This is stuff that is not on the field. They don't have obligations to that team. Maybe those players aren't going to even be on that team next year. They don't have an obligation to do anything with them. They can do whatever they want. They're going to get their rings. They already had their parade. They're going to drink some more and do other things, and they can live their life. But just let them live their life.
Would this be a big deal if the roles were reversed, such as when Tom Brady didn't go to the White House when Barack Obama was in office? I don't ever remember there being this much talk about it.
They put out a list saying, I forget who they put on the list except for Tom Brady, but there have been athletes. Jake Arrieta, most notably, didn't go to go see Obama. So,
And people didn't make a big hoopla.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
We thought of the
Chemistry
same
is
word.
But they didn't make a big ordeal about it then. And honestly, I don't ever like to pull a race card or anything like that. But a lot of it, has to do, especially with Trump's administration and everything that's gone on with all of his executive orders. It's kind of hard not to pull it, and it's kind of hard not to say or play devil's advocate. And if these were white players not going to see a black president, would they be treated the same? Or if it's because we have a white president now that all of a sudden all these black players don't want to go, it's a big ordeal. And it's 6 out of 50 players on the roster?
Yeah.
Come on. It's, that's what? Someone do some quick math for me. It's like
a very
12%.
low percentage.
It's like 12-13% of the team.
1 out of 9.
That is still a B plus of the team going, plus coaches. I don't see why it's a big deal. I hate that it's a big deal. People should be able to make their own decisions, and if they don't feel, like you said, if Devin McCourty doesn't feel comfortable, if Martellus Bennett doesn't want to meet this guy who has clearly voiced his hatred for minorities. I don't see a big deal.
It just doesn't to me. It just seems like people trying to find another reason to bash and hate on Donald Trump. Of course these guys don't want to go because Trump is going to, he's already doing bad, or he's going to do bad, and it just seems like another shot at him almost.
It is a shot at him.
People try to find
It is.
anything
That's exactly
to
what it
say.
is.
And it should be.
I don't want to be all Max Kellerman about the situation because his views are so.
Max Kellerman gets 2 shout-outs in one show.
Well, yeah, I think that's enough about Max.
Yeah.
That's enough. But he's very passionate about politics, and me being a low-leveled, I watch Fox News and I'm in the media, so I should understand what's going on. But I'm not a political person. Do I like Donald Trump? No.
If this was me and I was in the position these guys are in, I wouldn't go either. So
No, I completely agree.
wouldn't go either.
So
I don't know. You wouldn't go if you were invited to the White House.
I wouldn't. No.
Why? Because Donald Trump.
Under this, yes, 100% the
Because
reason why I wouldn't
it's
go.
bigger than Donald Trump. It's what he represents as far as what he's done so far and how he doesn't want to progress this country. He wants to essentially demolish everything we've worked for in the last 250 years, and that's immigration, that's a melting pot, that's accepting anybody who's different, anybody who wants to be here no matter how they get here, that's accepting hard workers, are hard workers regardless of where you're from. And he wants to absolutely destroy all of that, and you can't even argue that he doesn't. I'm sorry, but there's no logical argument
there
you can
really
make.
isn't.
But it's the white. Go ahead.
There's no way you can fight for him, and all the events that I've prescribed in the past 3 weeks, because we've all been acknowledged with SNL skits, with social media, with hearings, with everybody that's being named to his cabinet, the Betsy DeVos, that happened this week. It's just all that accumulating to players don't want to. And they have every right as an American in this country to do what they want. And is this, though, a stab in the back to Robert Kraft, their owner? Do you think he's going to feel like they're going to betray the team? Because he is good friends with Trump. I know Tom Brady's going to go because he supports Trump. Would this be a stab in the back to Robert Kraft, or would he feel that way? And will that demolish any chemistry of this team? Do you guys think, or no?
I don't think these guys even care, to be honest. I feel like everything else that we just mentioned is bigger than a stab in the back to our owner. I don't think it's a big deal. And I feel like if these guys are all good enough to get an NFL contract somewhere else, they don't care.
Yes. Tom, give me the cutout scene. Tom's like, I don't know.
Tom.
I don't have much to say. It's just a sign of respect. I don't know. It just seems.
But
to
when
me
you
like
don't respect the person or administration that's in there, why would you have to show that?
So-
It's not the
respect?
person. I'm going to bring out my insightful side. All right, I'm going to try to
Here we go.
make this sound kind of cool. All right.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to quote.
cool.
I'm going to bring out a quote from my favorite movie, Remember the Titans. I don't know if any of you've seen it,
That's a good
but
movie.
they're at the Gettysburg. They're at Gettysburg, and they're not getting along. Coach says, "You don't have to like each other or not, but you have to respect each other.
But you will
He says,
respect
but
each
you will
other."
respect each other."
Yep.
Okay. It doesn't seem like it should all be about Donald Trump. It should be about, you guys are getting the opportunity to go to the White House. You show respect for your country by going. You don't have to like the person who's in charge. I mean, you go because you're going to the White House. It's the White House.
But,
It just seems-
But
wouldn't you say that players now going to the White House is a sign of disrespect?
if they go
For
to
a lot
the
of
White House,
because think about all
I like
the
that point.
riots. Think about all the views that people have on this president. And honestly, if it was any other president and he's doing the same things, I would have the same views. If Obama was doing these in the first 3 weeks of his presidency, I would have had the same exact talk. We would be having the same discussion. It's Donald Trump. This is his presidency, and this is what we've experienced, and this is what players and people in this country view him as. And they have the right to have their views. And it's not a sign of disrespect to our country. It's not a disrespect to what our forefathers have given us. It's a disrespect to a man who doesn't seem to give us, as an American society, respect.
so not going to the White House is sending him a message.
It's sending.
Right.
Yes.
It's sending him a message. It's sending people who support these players a message. People who assimilate with these players. like, okay, I look up to these players and they're sticking up for what I believe in. It's sending those guys a message that, you know, they actually care about more than just football. And I think, you know, these players now have a unique platform of Twitter, Facebook, and social media, Instagram, to where they can voice these opinions more than before. And, you know, I don't always agree with politics and sports intermingling. This is one of the few times where they do. And I just, you know, I don't disagree with them. Yeah, I don't know.
I really don't either. I don't.
It's hard because it's on a touchy subject.
It's a very
Right.
touchy subject.
It's just such, in the state of what our country is in, what we're dealing with, people have views. And so far, what we've seen of these views are protests. What we've seen of these views are laws that are written that have seemed to portray what this country is about, and views where people on social media are attacking each other. It's not the greatest state we've been in, but this is a way that people can say, you know what, I want to fight for what's right. And I think the players are saying, we're not comfortable, we don't want to be here. And that's their right.
Mm-hmm.
That is their right as not just a player, but an American. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
If you even accepted a medal of freedom, of course you want to be there, but if you're accepting it from a person you don't want to be accepted from, hey, that's it. So, I'm getting something written down. I don't know if you guys agree with that. I have to speak up. I'm that guy. So, when we come back, I think we're gonna go to Scott's final take. Well, I can't say final take, but I'm gonna say Scott's final hot take. Ooh. About a certain GOAT that we just witnessed this past weekend.
Go easy on us, please.
And we are back with Hot Take here at Northern Illinois University. So, Scott, you have our hot take. I'm going to let you take the floor.
All right. So, as most of you know, there was kind of a pretty super game this weekend, on this past Sunday. For the, you know, other... What I think I read 170 million people watched this game at some point. So for you, 160 million other people in America who don't know or haven't heard, the Patriots won the Super Bowl. Yes, for the 5th time in franchise history, the New England Patriots won the Super Bowl. Not only that, they mounted the largest comeback in Super Bowl history, more than doubling the previous comeback of 10 points with a 25-point comeback in the second half. And Tom Brady has forever stapled, I take that back, not forever, currently stapled himself as the greatest, most clutch quarterback of all time. 5 Super Bowl rings, 4 Super Bowl MVPs. In this Super Bowl, he had the most passing attempts ever. Beat Kurt Warner's record of 415 passing yards by about, I think he had 466, so about 40 yards. Yes, the game went into overtime. First overtime game ever. But Tom Brady, with that performance, has stapled himself as the GOAT. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He has the most Super Bowl MVPs of all time, most fourth quarter comebacks of all time in the Super Bowl, which is 3 for those of you that didn't know. 3 fourth quarter comebacks in the Super Bowl against teams who supposedly aren't supposed to give up leads, like the Atlanta Falcons giving up a 25-point lead. He also has 10 game-winning drives in the postseason. All great numbers. He is the greatest quarterback of all time.
And Tom, do you want anything to say about that?
No, I don't have anything to say.
Tom doesn't have anything to say. If you want to know,
I can't.
this man had like his shirt like over his mouth. I think if we just left these two in a room right now, I think it would get too heated. I think we would like need call security like the Knicks last night.
One more quick thing, and I've mentioned this before.
Oh, there's more. Yeah.
And it will always remain true.
Shut it off. Shut it off. Before you say this, shut it off.
No,
You can't spell Lombardi Trophy without
Jay Cutler.
Tom Brady.
All right,
Jay Cutler.
hopefully that's the last time we'll ever hear that.
I
It won't
really
be,
hope
though.
Jay Cutler doesn't get a Lombardi Trophy when he goes to Dallas. All right.
I think Jay Cutler would be a bad IHSA AAA quarterback. Honestly.
Wow.
Wow. All right. See you in the CFL color. All right. Until next time, check us out on our other podcast. We started NBA Ankle Breakers last night. It was a lot of fun. We have the Nickel and Rodriguez show on Tuesday nights, and we had our first episode of Top Shelf Sports Newscast. All on our YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at Top Shelf NIU. Thank you for joining us. This has been Hot Takes.
Hot show.
Hot Takes, Hot Kicks. Goodbye.
Go Huskies.
Hot cakes.